What's up, everybody? Darren from College Gaming here, and with me, as always, is Toby.
Hi,
We're doing Road to Rome 7. That's like your trademark intro now. You've done that so many times.
I know I have. That's why I can't stop now. I just can't stop now.
Okay, and we're doing Road to Rome 7, I think, and
I
we're
think.
just, we're just going to get straight into it. By this stage, you should know the drill. We cover all the latest Rome 2 news. We're getting very close to the game's release. We've got 2 weeks to go. It's actually
I think it's 13 days, is it?
15 days, so it's just
15
over
days.
2 weeks. Oh, well, it's actually, by the time this goes up, probably 13, yeah. um, yeah, it's a
Citation
little
needed.
behind the curtains there, behind the scenes that let you see what we do. So we'll just get straight into what we've seen the last week and last 10 days kind of since our last road to Rome. So one of the first things, this was actually just as we were doing our last video, as we were editing it, we seen that all this stuff comes out and we just can't fit it in. We noticed that there's a Rome 2 launcher that's coming when you install the game. To boot up the game, you have to go through the launcher, and we just noticed that there's a little option for a mod manager. So what do you think of that?
Yeah, awesome. As I said, the fact that mods are covered again, it's just so good because well, me and you only played a shit ton of mods of Rome 1. Rome's Directum being like the most Lord of the Rings mod, which was just epic.
Yeah, well, that was for medieval,
Crazy.
so
Yeah. Anyway, mod support is something we all hope would be there. It is there. Brilliant.
yeah, it's really good because even just the little things, I'm sure the manager will make it a lot easier to interchange them, like with things such as people want to get rid of the trails on the spears. When you throw the spears, you see this long trail in the air. That's,
Yeah.
Whatever. I'd like to get rid of that. And then there's people probably make their own kind of blood pack, and they're just even the smallest things. It'd be great to just swap in and out of things without having to go into the hassle of knowing anything about the game's files. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, exactly.
I'm looking forward to that. It's pretty cool that they're supporting it so openly. Not many games do that. So
No, I know it's
pretty
good, and yeah, it just means as you said that everything should be implemented better and much easier to do.
yeah. And for people who are annoyed about the unit cards and things like that, you could just quick mod. I'm sure that'll be pretty easy.
Yeah, done.
Straight away, you can just swap them in and out. And then there's just some other news and blah 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 on the launcher, on the launcher, that you'd expect. Yeah, that you'd expect, and resume campaign, blah blah blah. Looks good. So
Yeah, so obviously we saw in one of the two videos that they released, they did quite, like a 5-minute in-depth thing about the naval combat. We showed it in a lot more detail. Obviously, it was just a pure naval battle we've already seen combined. But yeah, so what did you think about it?
yeah, well, it was good. I mean, they're kind of addressing these last two videos. They also did a phalanx video, which we'll get into now in a minute. But these little videos they're just doing to address directly the people on the forums asking for these things that they want to see. So I'm glad that they're doing it. They show a lot in those 5 minutes, all the different ships or types of ships. So there's melee, missile, and artillery ships, and I was pretty happy with it. I mean, the sea looks amazing, the
Oh yeah,
ocean physics,
it did look very
the
nice.
weather effects, and all that
It
stuff.
looked
But
very nice.
it did look a bit silly when a ship crashes into another ship and the other ship
And it
just
didn't do
doesn't
anything.
react.
Yeah, I know. I knew you
Now
were gonna say that. I thought the same thing.
this is for me, I was just oh, this looks so cool, this looks so cool, and I was like, wait, what? Just
Yeah,
didn't
I
react,
know.
and I was I was thinking, oh, it
Literally
was a
no
glitch.
impact. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, oh, it's just a glitch. It does it again, and nothing happens again. And I was like, are you serious? Because there is big physics going on where you see it tumbling in the ocean. It's why couldn't they just? It's nothing. I know that it's nothing to keep doing the tumbling, when a ship hits it. So a lot of people are saying, I've seen on the forums that when you're in battering or when you're in boarding mode, the ship doesn't jolt, and the reason for that is so your men can jump from ship to ship without it looking ridiculous,
Yeah.
leaping over. Even at the moment, it looks a bit silly, but there's nothing you can do about that really. So they take these massive jumps to jump onto another ship, and then apparently if you're in ramming mode, the ships will react. Now I don't know. It's I'm pretty sure there was ramming in that, and it just didn't look good. So, but this is what they say anyway. So maybe it'll look a bit better. I don't think it would be a big thing to put that in. From what I know
No.
of development
No. Yeah.
process.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So yeah, apart from that, it looks cool. It's still really cool to see all your troops jump onto the other ship and start fighting them.
Oh, I know. It looks especially the point when they had they had that giant ship and they got hit by 3 little ships
Yeah,
and all the guys swarming over and stuff. It looked fucking awesome.
yeah.
Just flat out looked
And they
awesome.
had those kind of special ships as well with the fireballs on front of them. And it's when another ship crashes into these little balls that are hanging off the edges, fire pots,
Yeah.
I think they call them.
Yeah,
They
the
just
fire pots.
explode. Excuse
But
me.
they didn't say that. I was hoping they were going to have a bit more impact as well.
Yeah,
It
well,
just
the
kind of
ship
popped
caught.
like a balloon.
Yeah, it did, but it kind of. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, but like they say that can set it on fire at the edge and stuff, and then they
Yeah.
showed the fire arrows, which can also set it on fire in the sails and stuff. So, like, I don't know, it looks really cool. I mean, it still looks really cool. And anything like that's a little
Oh yeah, yeah,
lackluster,
yeah.
I
It still
think they
looks
would
good.
fix.
Oh yeah, I'm not slacking off. It still looked good.
Yeah, so I'm
It's
pretty
just
happy with it.
niggles.
Like it was just that kind of taken back moment where it's like, well, the ship didn't react that much, but I can live with that because it's more about the troop combat on the ships in a way, anyway. Um, and then again, you can carry your siege engines on your ships like ballistas and things, and we didn't really get to see them, but I'm sure they'll be like cool to utilize. So me and Toby are doing a Sparta and Athens co-op, and I'll be doing Athens. So I'm guessing I'll be focusing on naval combat a lot.
Yeah.
So we'll be seeing that on my side anyway.
Hmm.
So I was particularly interested to see how it worked, and I was happy with what I saw.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think it looks pretty sexy. But it was also nice just to see all this the cool effects, the missile fire and all that stuff. It was cool. It was just
Yeah.
a good thing all around really.
Um.
But and sorry, another point just to bring out that it was the whole the difference in the ships was awesome.
Yes.
Obviously because the last Total War game was Shogun, where there isn't a difference in the ships because they're all very similar culture.
Mm.
Then to see how different the ships were in this one. You
Yeah,
had
these
these
big
giant
like
Roman
barbarian
ships, and
ones.
then you had like Greek more ones and the barbarian ones and stuff. It
Mm.
was awesome. It was cool.
Yeah, and like the weather is so cool. So like the most impressive thing is easily the fact like when it was a big storm, like you see the ships like coming down and rising up with the waves. Like it looks fantastic. Like at the end that
Yeah, that was
aspect.
awesome.
So yeah, looks pretty cool. Oh yeah, this is a smaller point, but we've seen that there's like a faction summary photo surfaced, or I think it was just actually a screen grab from one of the
Yeah,
trailers we've seen. Uh, and just something I noticed is that there is actually a limit to how many armies you can have in the campaign map at any one stage. So depending
yeah,
on your faction size, like I think for example it says at the time he owns like 3 provinces, you can only have 2 armies, 2 full armies. So you have to be like more kind of strategic in where you're going to place your armies. You can't just spam them. That was something we were kind of worried about before.
yeah,
So that definitely addresses that problem. And I for one, I think it's a good idea. Like, um, yeah, I just think it prevents you get any one nation becoming like ridiculously powerful. Like they'll have to like spread their armies
yeah.
more.
There's always an opportunity to come back and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
that's kind of the thing. Like every battle kind of is more important when when you're worried, like when you only have a certain amount of armies. So I'm pretty happy about that. And also in the screenshot, we've seen that there's food. So food's making a return from Shogun, uh, which I find is a bit weird because like it's such a massive empire. I guess it is still
Yeah,
like a very
I
important
don't I
part.
don't know if I like that myself.
Yeah. So
Just because I wasn't a big fan of food, but
yeah, me neither. Like I never kept track of it, and it was like every now and then I was just told like, oh, you're not making any food. So I was like,
yeah, it
okay.
was one of those things that just kind of normally just had enough just by
Yeah,
building sensibly.
yeah.
You kind of had enough.
And without seasons in this game, like we're not gonna have the whole winter attrition thing where food's on like real short. So
Yeah,
I think it's just kind of to make sure you're building some sort of buildings to keep your food going. I guess it's just kind of an extra building that you have to worry about, I suppose.
yeah, I guess.
Because I don't know what else it is, like what else it does, because it doesn't seem to fluctuate at all, from what I've heard. Because there's no seasons, so. Um, but oh yeah, but a low food will make your populace angry, and that could lead to like civil uprisings and stuff.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's just a kind of an extra thing to add, I guess. I'm not happy. I'm not like not happy that it's not in it, so or that it is in it. Like I
yeah,
think
no, no, no. What you
it's
mean?
kind of one of those things I don't really care, but I felt it should be brought up because it is a big deal.
Well, yeah. Once again, in it was in the rally point that Creative Assembly decided not to invite me to, and I was
Oh
kind of like,
yeah, I meant
yeah,
to tell
decided
you.
did.
I might as well tell you now. They sent. Oh no, they didn't send one back. It took 20 minutes before like they were all booked up, and we sent our application in for that like in an hour. So we're just a
Yeah.
little bit too late, you know.
To be fair, you see, and I've been there before. I know how tiny the place is.
Yeah, it looks very cramped,
It
and
is
very loud.
literally tiny. There were probably about 50 people there.
It was probably shit. Book it.
Yeah, well, we went there. It was fucking garbage, mate.
Didn't want to go. So yeah, go continue anyway.
But yeah, so we saw in one of their videos, basically, they showed us how phalanxes work in that rally point, and you saw, it was. Well, I don't really know what to say about it. It was exactly how phalanxes you'd expect them to work. They're fucking strong from the front.
Yeah.
The only thing that I thought was, particularly cool, as it were, was they showed the little phalanx and phalanx bit at the end, and there were some cool animations there for the fighting. But
Yeah, it
it still
definitely
wasn't
looked a lot
anything
better than
special. It was
the old
still
ones.
nothing special. It was exactly how I'd expect the phalanx to work.
Yeah, and it operated much quicker as well. Like you could get a phalanx on phalanx back in Rome 1 that would last a long time before
Yes.
anyone came in.
Yeah, but then again, you also saw though it was quite obvious. Only people on one side died, so it was obviously an awesome phalanx
Yeah,
against
it
a
was
shit.
one
So
against a shit one.
yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
was obviously a really powerful one against a crap one.
probably
So
just to show how it works real quick.
yeah, exactly. Because only people on one side were dying. They were dying fast. So it's one of those things where I bet, like in Rome 1, if
Yeah.
you had two similar ones, it would just be it's just brutal slogging match.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's cool. It's always cool to see like more footage like of the units fighting it out. Like everyone wants to see that. That's like the biggest request is just to
Yeah.
watch the animations and things. Um, but I don't know why in particular people were like, I have to see the phalanx fight.
No, I don't know either.
So I don't know. But yeah, they released it anyway on demand, which is pretty cool of them. And at the end of the video, uh, one of the animators, Adriana, showed more footage of just different gray box animations, which are really cool as well.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything particularly mind blowing in the last week. But at this point, I'd be quite worried if there was anything mind blowing.
Yeah, it'd be weird if they just came out with something like.
Oh yeah, by the way, Rome's not in this game, and you now play as Persia. Like, what? What? What are you talking about?
Yeah,
But it
yeah,
was just just some cool stuff, as you said, stuff the crowd wanted to see.
yeah. So that's pretty much all the new footage we've seen. There was, just as we released our video last week, which did unbelievably well. I know
Very, very well.
somebody linked it on, I think on TotalWarCenter.net. Like the analytics tell us roughly where it came from, but not the actual.
So, P.S. Whoever linked it, thanks, and do it again, please.
Exactly, yeah,
Do it
because that was such a boost. Like it doubled our views and got us
Yeah,
extra exposure and more
and
subscribers.
thank you to everyone that did watch last week and is watching again.
Yeah,
Thank you.
like such a major boost. Like it was unbelievable. So thanks very much.
Yeah.
And if you could, even if you weren't the one who linked it, like if you could just link it somewhere, put it in like a forum post, because we're not really allowed to do it ourselves. So you should just go do it for us. It really helps us, and we get like more subscribers, and then we get to do more videos more often. So
Yeah.
all right. So yeah. So that was all the footage we were shown, but we were also just as we released our video last week, Jack Lusted, one of the something at Creative Assembly. Sorry, I can't remember exactly. Answered a load of community questions. I think there was like 50 questions in total, huge amount, and he just went down at like answering every single one of them. So we'll post a link in the description to where the answers are. They're on the Total War forums, not the Total War Center forums. And here's just some of the ones, like the biggest ones that I felt were, the most important. So one of the first ones is. So there's 20 units is the limit on the campaign map in one army, right? So that's just on the campaign map, and then you have two full armies where you can go into battle with two full armies, which is a total of 40 units, is what they said, and they can both be land, so that you could have a total of, like if you had two full armies versus two full armies, that's 12,800 troops without any reinforcements needed, So that's well, for me anyway, I find that to be like a massive number that you could have a potential battle with.
Yeah, it is pretty big.
I don't know how rare that's going to be. I mean, it's two full armies versus two full armies kind of happens quite a lot. I felt in Shogun and Rome.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
I'm sure it's going to happen at some stage, and that's if you're playing on huge. So that's it also ties in. They released the numbers on huge, large, medium, and stuff. Not going to bother reading them out. Like we'll just you can see that in the post if you go do it yourself. But 160 is for the large melee infantry, so that's where I'm getting those numbers from. So I just thought it was worth mentioning that you can have two, the 40 units we thought was like maybe half is for sea and half is for land, but you can actually double up on land or you can double up on sea, so that's just really good.
I think that's more. I think it was 16 in a unit before, wasn't it? Or am I going crazy?
What, in the old days, was it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I
I don't know. I think it was.
I don't know either. But
Yeah.
it's 20 in a base army now and 40 in total. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
It seems like a huge number for me. Well,
40 units and 40 units is pretty insane.
yeah, that's gonna be spread out.
Yeah, exactly.
Or really dense, depending on like in a city, that would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that'd be fucking amazing.
Another thing is we were talking about forts last week, and we weren't sure if there was going to be different types of forts, things like that. But it turns out there's only one type of fort per culture, and it's the one we've seen.
Well, no, we've only seen one culture's fort.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah, I know, but I mean, he goes into fortification stance. There's no like building on the map you can leave, like we.
Oh yeah.
So it is just a fortification stance. There's one for every culture, and there's 4 cultures. So that's just the different types of forts you're going to get.
Yeah.
Jack List had also mentioned another point, which is civil wars can happen only once per faction. So if you have a civil war, it's never going to happen again when you stop it.
I don't like that.
Yeah, so, I don't
Kind
know.
of takes it away.
I guess so, but the thing is, civil wars could last. Technically, they could just last the whole game. Like if you don't.
Also, I don't think you've ever had a good civil war in one of the old games like Medieval or something, but they are crazy when they happen. Literally
But
half your
have they ever
provinces
happened in the old
disappear.
games?
Yeah, they happened in Medieval and Medieval 2. You got civil wars, and literally half your provinces would disappear.
Oh wow,
So
like yeah,
it's not like a province goes rebel. Literally half your entire nation just disappears. It goes
yeah.
rebel.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that this time. They say like in the civil wars now, like what happens is a general will rebel, and you'll start like some of your like armies will just spring up all over the place, and you'll lose men from your armies, but you'll never lose a full unit, so you won't
Yeah.
lose anything too bad.
Yeah,
I think, I think
but
you could lose towns though, yeah.
I still reckon you'll lose massive amounts of land and stuff.
Probably,
but
yeah. I remember
you'll
in the
still
mod Roma Surrectum 2, they had a civil war in it. Like Hannibal comes to Italy, and as
Yeah.
he's marching down, like towns just convert to him, like he doesn't even have to do anything.
Yeah,
And that was insane. Like that was like how am I supposed to deal with this, you know?
mate, I'm telling you, Medieval 2, it literally just have a little pop-up box like an event saying a civil war has occurred. These generals have returned, and it would list about 20 of your like 40 generals. Then you look at the map, and literally every your
Oh,
map's
was that in
cut half.
Kingdoms? Right.
No, just Medieval 1. Base Medieval 2. That happened.
I don't remember
Obviously,
that.
obviously, it doesn't always happen. It's
Yeah,
quite rare,
yeah, I know,
hard
yeah.
to get. But
I think I only ever played Medieval as France, and I played it to completion. And I don't
See, it was
don't
France,
ask me why.
France when they rebelled, man.
Yeah. Oh, well, I can't
France
remember.
rebelled
Exactly.
against me, the fuckers, this fucking French pricks.
So you can engage in diplomacy with the rebels, and the civil war doesn't end until you've actually crushed the enemy or you come to peace with them. So that's just it, and you don't get another one after that, I guess. Which is odd, but I guess they only plan to have one faction per civil war. So it's like you have Roman rebels and they don't have another faction, so they.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm sure it is just because the civil wars are so brutal that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like,
if you got unlucky and had two relatively close together, it would just be no point playing.
Yeah, I'd say it's going to make a big enough impact and last long enough that you're not going to really have time for another one, like, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Confederation's the next thing.
So yeah, it's a bit. We've got a bit less detail about it in the civil wars, but it's a very cool aspect because obviously, you know, earlier they showed us, and we've spoken about in a previous Road to Rome. They showed us, you know, the faction groups, and obviously, you know, there are ones like I think they're like the Gallic factions and the Britannic factions or whatever they are.
Yeah.
And each of these, all of the barbarian types of these, you know, these little faction groups, you can start a what's it called, Darren, again?
Confederation.
Yeah, a confederation. So this is where, you know, if you whatever the player is controlling, say I'm controlling, you know, the Gauls, then, you know, the Britons and, you know, the Germanic tribe or whoever the third one in my little group are.
Yeah.
It starts an event where they can join with you. We don't have the exact details of how the event's going to work at the moment. I'm probably assuming there's going to be some sort of military aspect, like you have to conquer. Like, you know, some towns will agree, you know, based on their culture.
I think it said that it's a diplomatic action where you can instigate whether you want this to happen or not, and they can agree to it. So
no, sorry, they just said that, but I don't know honestly, but I think it'd be really cool if they went deeper and had it, so, you know, because they do have influence, like in Shogun 2, that, you know, like Fall of the Samurai and stuff, where people, you know, have different influence in the city. So I think it'd be cool if, you know, cities that had high enough influence would just join you, and cities that didn't would, you know, rebel against this confederacy. But, you know, in basic terms, the confederacy means that all the other two factions in your faction class, in your tribe class, whatever, I'm not sure it's classed as, will all join you and you become one faction.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it's a very late game move. It's not like you can do it in the first 50 turns.
Yeah.
But it probably takes a hell of a lot of building up to get. But that is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a pretty big thing. So it's like I can imagine it could probably happen like when Rome's taken over the barbarian
That's
factions,
exactly what
you
I
know?
was just thinking. Yeah,
And
that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Like it said that if you're a barbarian faction, it's not going to happen to you unless you want it to happen. But if
so
you're
it
not
has
playing
to be
as
instigated by players.
but exactly. Yeah, but if you're not playing as barbarian, obviously the barbarians can do it themselves if they want.
Yeah.
So, you know, you could be playing as Rome, and all of a sudden, like, you're just facing like you have against three little small factions. Next turn, it's just one big faction. It's like what just happened.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Like, it's cool that they band together like that. It's a bit disappointing that they don't do it for like Greek culture as well. People are saying like, why can't the Greek states do it? But they don't. So I don't know why. But,
I don't know. These are all things that will be modded in like a week. So
yeah, it's like
don't
the
worry about any
very fact
changes.
that it's the possibilities in there means that anybody can mess with it now and do more. So
This is, the modding community there is for Total War games. Yeah, literally, if you can think of it, within a month of games launch, there'll be a mod for it.
yeah,
And there'll be a bloody good mod for it as well. So just don't even worry about it.
so if like I'm not sure if it goes as extreme as Britain merging with like France or not, or if it's just sub factions or whatever the deal is. But if these two factions merge and you want to get the old faction back, they won't come back unless they rebel for a civil revolt. So that's the only way. So it's a pretty permanent situation. So that's that. Another thing is the Marian reforms and other reforms happen through tech trees. So that's just a little bit of news I thought was interesting. I mean,
unlike in the old one where it happened at certain years.
yeah, so it was just like random. I think in Rome 1, like it was random in the early
I'm
years.
pretty sure it wasn't. It was in the
It
set
wasn't.
year.
No, it wasn't in the exact set year. I know that it was different. Just because I remember like specifically, I don't know why, but it was over the course. It was early game, obviously, but like it happens at a certain point, and it could be a different, like within like maybe 10 turns. Like it's pretty close. But anyway, so you never really knew when exactly it was going to hit, and it just did. I think you had to own a certain amount of capitals as well for that to happen.
Yeah, probably.
So now it just happens as a tech upgrade, which is, I know it's pretty cool. It makes a lot more sense anyway. But we won't spend too much time on that. Oh yeah, another thing we were just curious about when we first learned about city expansion was, the cities expand so much. We were thinking like maybe you go through the settlement fighting in different sections because Carthage looked so big and they weren't showing one half of the city. Like we were thinking, oh, maybe fight in that section like the next battle. But nope, you capture a settlement in one big fight and the port is part of the city, so it goes with it. You don't have a separate fight down there. So that was just cleaning up that bit of information as well.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't know. It would have been cool, I guess. But if
I just think it's going to make siege battles just going to be mental.
Yeah, but as long as they don't cut off half the city, because it looked like it was just cut off. Like all the units were spaced in one area.
Yeah,
the bit looked almost grayed out. So they better not do that. Because that would be bullshit.
That'd be pretty gay.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't do that, where bits of the city's cut off. Maybe it's just for the demo they didn't have it done or whatever. They still haven't shown any fights in Rome, which I really want to see. They should release screenshots of all the major cities. I think there's like 6 in total. So I'll just flash them on screen for you there. And
boom, right there. Look at those screenshots. They are some good looking screenshots right there.
Yeah.
Of the things in Rome Total War. There's some really good screenshots of the things in Rome. They're nice.
And that's pretty much it for this Road to Rome. So it's just kind of like we're winding down. If anything, just getting all the little bits of information now.
We're winding down in the new information, but we're winding up in erection sizes in preparation for this game.
I tried to not laugh.
I know you did. Tried the silence.
It was just you breathing in that got me. It's like, I just said that.
Yeah.
You could have just said excitement or anticipation, but yeah, basically, we're getting pumped for the game, and that's not a euphemism. But 2 weeks. 2 weeks and we'll be playing it.
2 weeks, and
it comes out at 6 p.m. our time on a Wednesday.
So that's going to be preloaded like a bitch.
Yeah, so I don't know when we get to preload it. I don't get off work till 6, so I'll have to come home. I'll be 2 hours late to the party.
Preload it the day before. Preload it beforehand. What is it?
Oh yeah, no. I'm sure it'll be loaded fine. It's just that I'll have to wait 2 hours to come home to play it.
Oh well, obviously.
Yeah.
I do always think it's a little bit depressing that you're booking a holiday to play it, or 3 days of holiday.
I really don't think it is.
I think it kind of is a little bit.
I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for this channel. No, I'm actually quite proud of it. It's the first game I've pre-ordered, and that's how much the game means to me. I got 3 days.
First game you pre-ordered?
Yep. Never pre-ordered a game before.
That's good. You should never pre-order a game. No.
Yeah, there's no point to pre-order a game, but
no, there's not.
I want to preload this game,
well,
play it at the time it comes out, so
yeah.
That's the only reason I'm doing it. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week with the next Road to Rome. Don't know if much more content's going to be coming out at this late stage, but hopefully we'll do some sort of video for you anyway. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below and we'll tackle them next week. And that's all from me.
And that's all from me as well. See you next time, guys.
See you next time, and link this video. Thanks.
Stay classy, San Diego.
And you watched the Phalanx video, did you?
I've watched both videos.
Did you see the girl at the end?
Yes.
What do you think of her?
I mean, the animator.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was fit.
Just imagine like fooling around with her in a mocap suit, mapping it to little animations. It's like,
Just hiding it, and no one notices it until launch.
yeah,
What are
two
they? What are
soldiers
they?
just banging each other.
It's just randomly two legionaries fucking in the back line every now and then.
Yeah, that'd be so funny.
Just no, just
They build like a little testudo around themselves and just start fucking in it.
it's just written into the code, and no one ever checks that.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so funny.
Brilliant.
You'd
Be
have
like yeah. Be like if you get attacked by a phalanx at a 30-degree angle, two people just start fucking in your unit. Be amazing.
Oh, that'd be so funny.